Greetings, Skill Incarnate bringing you all the latest indie gaming goodness. Welcome back as we check out another indie game. This time we're looking at Tyrants Realm. This game is the breakout title by Team Tyrant and is published by Skystone Games. These guys made one of my favourite zombie survival games, Undying, which I've also reviewed. Tyrants Realm is a PlayStation 1 inspired Soulslike, and if you've been watching the channel you know I am a fanatic for anything Dark Souls related. So when the developer reached out to me I eagerly accepted. Now I've really been enjoying the campaign. I love the huge amount of unlockable items on offer, but it would be remiss of me not to mention one issue I've found with the game, and that is the length. You can complete the entire campaign in a little bit over 30 minutes. And while it will take you more than one try, it still feels a little bit short in its current state. But apart from this, I've really been enjoying the game, so we're going to do a run today as we try to finish Tyrants Realm. Just like all good Dark Souls games, our run begins in the dungeon. We are an escaped prisoner. Our goal is to hunt down and destroy the tyrant. He is an evil wizard who imprisoned us here. Now, because I have finished the game, I do have access to a harder mode. On the higher difficulties, you'll get more elite enemies and you can also find more gear. Now I'm going to stick with the standard difficulty because if you die in the game, you go right back to the beginning. And I would like to do a complete run if I can. Now I do get a couple of starting items because I finished the game and I have a couple of upgrades. And this is a really good way for you to learn the combat system against the early enemies. Most of these guards are pushovers. Anyone who's played a Dark Souls game, going to be completely at home here. Now there are a number of different types of gear that you get your hands on, and the type of starting gear that you get will most likely determine the character build you're going to have. Now you've got red equipment, which is mainly geared to fast-paced mobile characters, yellow equipment, which is geared towards people who want a little bit of a jack of all trades, good damage, good defense, and reasonable armor. Now, because I've got yellow gear, it makes sense to go down the yellow gear path. Now, nothing says you can't change your weapons, but obviously you will get substantial bonuses to using the right gear for your character build. Now I am a very mobile class. Taking a bit of damage because 2 against 1. We'll try and parry this guy out. Nope. There we go. Boom. Now the early part of the game's quite challenging because you're not going to have any armor. You're not going to have, in most cases, not any gear. You start off with nothing but a rusty old club and a plank of wood for a shield. You want to try and collect as much money as you can. Make it to the end, because there you can... Oh, here we go. Naginata, I'll take that. Now, depending on your preferences, you may want a two-handed weapon or a one-handed weapon. But it really comes down to playstyle and a little bit of RNG. As you kill enemies, as you complete runs, whether you're successful or not, you'll unlock additional weapon blueprints, and those blueprints can be used to unlock more weapons. Once you purchase a weapon, it's yours forever. Now, you'll have a chance of finding that weapon in each level. In the case of weapons I'm using, they're mainly Japanese-style weapons, naganatas, katanas. That's kind of my preference. I will definitely... actually, no. No, we're yellow class. Do you really want to pay attention to the type of gear? It's all color-coded. Yellow armor. That'll do me just fine. Now, of course, armor weight comes into the equation. Heavy armor's nice and all. It's going to slow you down substantially. But it has the advantage of really soaking up a lot of the damage you're going to take. But you're going to struggle against enemies using ranged weapons, fast-paced enemies. There's the end of the level. We'll go check out. There's nothing else that we can steal before we head out. Oh, and we did miss a weapon upgrade shrine. Just disrespecting these guys, just parrying every attack. Very nice, and as you can see, all of my gear is yellow. You'll not have this luxury. It's because I've invested a couple of upgrade points, or a couple of $100 dues into starting gear. Whenever I start a new game, I'll get some random gear to start with, so I'm not going to be running around with a rusty old club and a plank of wood. Get some decent armour on me. Make the early game a little bit easier. Now, I've done about 4 or 5 runs of the game. And here we've got the Merchant's Lounge with our friend the Merchant, who has a number of different items on sale. You can see here we've got some really nice shields, weapons, and also shortcuts. Now, I haven't invested any money in shortcuts because I like to play the whole campaign, obviously earn as much money as I can. When I finish upgrading everything here, then I'll probably buy some shortcuts, but for now... Oh, those golden sickles look like they got my name on them. Now, you can see you invest a percentage of your money, and once you've invested everything you've got, you go to the next level. When you've purchased a weapon, it becomes yours permanently. And that means that you will have the chance to find it in each of your runs in future. Now, for the first boss, we don't have the most ideal weapon, but this will do. I would have preferred a katana. This boss is very aggressive, so the best approach is to wait his attacks out, watch your stamina, use your roll. Now it turns out the Naginata is actually a pretty good choice. We're kind of outpacing most of his attacks. We're out of range. Now the thing about the evasive roll, it's very forgiving with the iframes. In fact, most of this game's combat is very forgiving compared to a traditional Souls game. So this is actually a pretty good choice for new players, people who may not be as seasoned as other Souls players. The combat is very smooth. The parry system works really well. And with a little bit of money, I can actually invest in those sickles. Okay. Now these are obviously a lot less damage than the Naginata, but they're more my speed, fast-paced. They do a lot of damage. You have to get in close, but they work really, really well. So what we're going to do is test them out in the next level. Now, the game has a branching path based on which level you select. You'll get a different boss, different enemies, different environment. We're going to go for the hard mode. We pick the Forbidden Tomb. So in addition to picking a character class I don't normally use, we're also going to use some weapons I don't use a lot as well. We'll see how that plays out. Now usually I play a lot more aggressively. Try and bait them into a parry. That worked really well. The problem with these fast guys, it is a lot harder to parry them. There we go. But the good thing about parrying is if you do have the patience to learn, it's an insta-kill. Come on, take a swing. Oh, that? I don't know how that didn't hit. Now, this level is fantastic for hidden areas. The temple, in addition to having one of the tougher bosses... Oh, this is not too bad. I'm going to take a hit to defense, but I can increase in speed and poison. You know what? I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it. That extra bit of speed can mean all the difference. I also get my hands on a poison crossbow. It's going to be really good against the next boss. Having a ranged attack, it's going to give us a huge leg up. Now you can bust open every single pot looking for gold. I'm not that patient, so I'm just grabbing what's easily available. Let's give this crossbow a try. Oh, there's a bug. It only works if they're on the same level as you. If they're vertical, it won't work. Or if they're above or below, it won't strike. Yeah, that's a bug. Or if it's not a bug, it's a very poor design choice. Whoa, that actually does a ton of damage. The recharge on it's crazy too. Like, it's only a few second recharge. I feel like you'd abuse that in a boss fight. I'm going to try not to abuse it. Don't need to when I can parry these guys. Okay. I'm hoping we'll find some more secret areas that have some decent weapons, although I've kind of gotten used to these sickles. I think I'm going to stick with them. Unless I find a really good weapon, I think, yeah, I'm going to stick with the sickles. I do like this armour. I haven't had a chance to test it yet. When it's the same, it works the same with armour as it does with weapons. So when you get to the end of the level, you take all your money, you commit to a piece of gear, you purchase that gear, and then it becomes available for all your future runs. So sometimes you'll buy a bunch of gear, especially if you get a bunch of money, and then you may not try it out because it may not pop up for a few runs. So it sometimes feels like the lottery. You just be going through, oh, I like that piece of gear, I like that piece of gear, and then you may never actually get round to using it for 2 or 3 runs. Okay, make sure I've got my potions. This is going to be one of the toughest boss battles in the early game. Now these Necro Priests have a one-shot kill attack, so we've got to be really careful. I can abuse that poison. It seems like they're not immune to poison. Oh, it also seems to interrupt their attacks. Oh yeah, we got to use this. That is trivializing this battle. So the poison effect's actually affecting their... It's affecting their ability to attack me. Oh man, it's turned this battle into a cakewalk. Now here's where things get really tough, because this guy has an insta-kill attack. I have no idea how the poison will affect it, but it seems to be slowing him down. Here we go. If these skulls hit me, it's pretty much game over. We're going to dodge him. Oh. Fortunately, he just keeps chucking them at you. Seeing that poison, yeah, it seems to be slowing him. It's slowing his attacks. I'll take it. Ooh. It does. It actually slows down his attack. It's trivialized this fight. Having my own ranged attacks make... Oh man, this is... I could just stand back and probably poison him to death. I'm not going to do that. That's just... It's too much cheese. Oh my god. So there's some huge disparity. Well, not disparity, but depending on what gear you've got, it makes some boss battles a complete cakewalk. I tried fighting that guy in plate mail, and I barely made it through because I was so slow. Most of his ranged attacks would hit me every single time. Yet, a simple crossbow just turned that fight into a complete cakewalk. So the next level is the Royal Hunting Grounds. And this one's a bit of a challenge due to the fact that, one, it's a very long level. There's a lot of enemies. Most of the areas you're fighting in are very packed in. You don't have a lot of room to move. And the level is lined with traps. Bear traps and also sound traps that will attract enemies. You've also got these assassins that love to parry you, so I like to parry them back and steal their money. Oh, that's just disrespect. 2 parries in a row, son. You're getting wrecked. I mean, these things are everywhere, so the traps themselves don't do a lot of damage. It's the fact that they immobilize you and you're pretty much at their mercy until you can get your foot out of the trap. The other problem is the sound traps you'll find that attract the dogs. And then finally these assassins. I think I may have found a winning combination though with this particular armour. It's working great. It's just the right mix between mobility and defense. And the crossbow is just the icing on the cake. Okay, we stepped on a sound trap. It's going to bring some doggies. Oh, just parried a dog, and boom. Never managed to pull a parry off on a Poochie before. Didn't know it could be done, actually. Now, I haven't found any decent shields. And it's because I've mainly been focusing on weapons. I mean, the shields, for me, it's kind of, can I parry? Is it good for parrying? If yes, then I don't really care what the other qualities are. Now, we've got quite a good setup here. I like the crossbow. Feel like it might be a little bit overpowered. Just a little, just a tad. Makes the boss battles almost effortless. I think I've finally hit my groove with the parry. I can pull them off fairly regularly now. And this game is very, very forgiving for parries. You got a pretty big parry window. So even if you're a bit of a nub when it comes to parrying, like me, you really want to do this, now you're going to get poisoned. Damn, he did a lot of damage. One dog. Took half my life. I've had it's been a pretty good run. I've found some really good gear. And you're not always going to find this. Like, sometimes you can get halfway through a run with with just some horrendous weapons and gear. But unlocking more weapons gives you a larger... put my foot in it, literally. It gives you a larger array of choices. Poochie. I know I stepped on a sound trap. It's going to be here somewhere. No. It's a good build. I find the poison seems to... The damage of taking poison, it kind of stun locks them. I could put on some Jester armor, but I think I may have found my favorite armor in the game. Oh, I'm even parrying dogs now. So I've now performed 100 executions. I don't know how many. I only know that because I just got a Steam achievement. There is actually an achievement for performing a number of parries using the parrying shield. So if I do find it, I'm definitely going to pick it up and try and hit the achievement. Let's go upgrade to starting armor for my next run. Which is it's going to be on hard mode. Speaking of hard, we've got, in my opinion, the most difficult boss in the game coming up, the Huntsman. This guy absolutely loves his crossbow. Can relate. But essentially, he loves to camp in his little hunting tower. And my mission is to blitzkrieg straight through and engage him in a duel. Ouch. Oh, no. Okay. He actually does massive damage with the crossbow. Oh, that was some slick maneuvers from me. Now, I'm actually going to beat him in his own game. He likes... He likes using the crossbow, so do I. Now, the challenge of fighting this guy is that he just doesn't give you any breathing room. Ouch, and he loves pulling off moves like that. I'm nearly dead from that one hit. I'm not feeling as bad about cheesing the crossbow when he's shooting it back at me. Oh, he just blitzed through my shield. You've really got to play defensively against this guy. You can't... You can't get too far away or he starts wailing on you with his crossbow. And he just doesn't give you any room to move, just constantly attacking. Oh, wow. That is probably the fastest I've ever dispatched him. I really struggled with him because if he has that crossbow, if you're in plate mail armor, getting up close to him is nearly impossible. And my last 3 attempts at the game all ended at the hunter. But it seems that this armor and this crossbow is a winning combination. Now for the next level, we've got a choice of the sewers or the forge. Now this is definitely a harder level with a more difficult boss, so of course I'm going to have to take the hard option. The reason why this forge is so difficult is because there's a lot of detritus in the way, a lot of stuff on the ground you can trip over. And also, most of the enemies here are all rocking heavy armor. Now, the only good thing about these guys in heavy armor is that they're extremely slow. And some of them are really easily parryable. Like so. Boom. I feel like once you get the parry window down, because if you get a perfect parry, it's insta-kill. So it is almost broken how quickly you can end fights. Okay, now we've got 2 of these guys. This could be a problem. So unfortunately for you, I have a crossbow. And I just evened the odds. Boom. Now, in heavy armor, that fight would have been a lot tougher. Certainly without a weapon that can shoot at range. I think I'm definitely able to limit the amount of crossbow use I've got. I think it would make the game trivial. I feel like maybe that needs to have some sort of ammo counter. Like, you shouldn't just be able to continually use it. I feel like you can kind of abuse it a bit. So even with the parry, these guys have such a huge health pool that if you don't learn to parry them, you're going to be sitting there belting away at them all day. Come on, take a swing. Boom. Love it. Yeah, the enemies in this particular level are really tough in a stand-up fight, but if you parry them, it trivializes it. That is extra damage after a parry. Passive defense boost. No, I'll stick with what I've got. I mean, most of the time when I'm parrying people, I'm doing an execution that kills them instantly anyway. Is that a ninja? That is a ninja costume. If I hadn't already spec'd into yellow gear, I would have to put it on. I'd be honor bound to be a ninja. So I've got a katana. I have got a katana. I haven't used it yet, but I did unlock it. Come on, bruh. Take a swing. Ouch. I guess my luck ran out. Okay. And we're tearing through this level. There's the exit already. I really struggled with this. I was wearing full plate mail. I had a green class carrier character with high defense, the whole shebang. Whoops. Nice try, bros. Now we got a fair bit of coin. We done pretty well. We haven't found many blueprints though. I'm a little bit disappointed on the blueprint front, because that's how you get new gear when you kill enemies. You have a chance to locate blueprints, and then ooh, is that a yellow class? It is, although it's a speed. Oh. I'll give it a try. I might regret this, but let's live dangerously. I may definitely regret this, but I don't want to use the whole weapon for the entire run. Let's make this interesting, shall we? Ooh, increased damage against bosses. I feel like that could be useful. Heals after a success. Oh man, we got to use this. I'm parrying all the time. That's a no-brainer. Now, this is going to be a tough battle, because what we're up against now is the second hardest boss in the game, in my opinion. This guy is absolutely brutal, because it's a combination of a dwarf engineer with explosives and potions, and a giant ogre with, well, he's an ogre. That being said, though, this weapon gear, it might work. And I have got my crossbow. Nice try, man. Okay, I take back what I said. I like this hammer now. The extra range and the damage is actually, it's doing it. It's working. We're absolutely destroying this guy. I'm turning this battle into a cakewalk. Look at this. Damn, okay, we just took the dwarf out. Now he's got a pretty big range with his weapon, but I reckon my weapon's about the same. I take back what I said. This hammer is absolutely destroying him. This is the perfect weapon. Get wrecked, son. How you like it? I reckon a couple more swings and he's pushing up daisies. Ooh. Okay. Can't get overconfident. Now, I could kill him with a crossbow, but it's a matter of pride now. We're going to do this. Woo! We just smoked him with the second hardest boss in the game with the most improbable weapon. I actually thought this would be useless. I'm hanging on to it now. Mr. Merchant, you just earned yourself a customer for life. Now we're running out of stuff to buy. I'm going to have to go and look for more. I'm going to have to play hard mode and look for more weapon schematics because we've got nothing in here. In any case, it's on to the final level of the game. The Showdown with the Tyrant. Now, ironically, this is a character class I would never play usually. I'm not a really big fan of two-handed heavy weapons with long swing times, but it turns out that was exactly what we needed. We're demolishing this guy. Oh man, I'm going to buy every other hammer class weapon I can get my hands on. Because there's different types of weapons. You get like a silver gold version. I mean, this is even the best one. Ouch, okay. I mean, we are going to struggle against these lighter classes because this weapon is definitely not built for fast characters, but yeah. It's going to work. I think it's going to work. Now, battle against the Tyrant with this thing, that's going to be interesting. Oh yeah, we're just disrespecting these guys now. Come on, Brett. Now, I don't know, have I maxed out? I've nearly maxed out the yellow class. And I feel like I've reached peak skill. Like, I'm ready. I'm ready for this. Try and lure this guy over with a crossbow bolt. Oh man, you guys don't stand a chance. This hammer is beast. This might be my best run yet. I'm absolutely crushing everything in my path. And I never thought I'd... And usually my best runs are when I use the light character class. It goes to show, though, some battles are absolutely made a piece of cake with the right gear, like the right character build. Some bosses that I struggled with, I'm just tearing through now. I think there are some balance issues, though. I mean, it's particularly around ranged weapons. I think you should have a limit to how many times you can fire this crossbow off. I think I've got the timing down near perfect now for the parrying. It's only these fast characters which are struggling a bit with me. Boom. I'm really down. I'm going to find anything that's going to... Yeah, no. I'm not going to be doing much more parrying once I hit the boss, so... I think that defense boost might be something I need. Yeah, this will work. This will work. Now, I've maxed out my character. I've got a surprisingly good two-handed weapon. My trusty crossbow. I'm about as ready as I'm ever going to be to face the Tyrant. What I am going to do, though, is wrap up all the upgrades I've got midway, if I can. Recharge my healing. Now, this fight is a piece of cake when you're using a character with a light weapon, and I could probably cheat and pick a different weapon, maybe purchase one. Well, I can't now, but we're gonna try it with the hammer. The problem is this guy, he constantly attacks you, so I don't know how I'm going to go with the two-handed weapon. I've also got to deal with my evil self. Also, I am dealing with the camera, my worst enemy. But thankfully, if you can kind of judge the distance, he'll kind of walk straight into your attacks. And you do have to do this because he does abuse the fact that he can heal. And he's got a much bigger life bar than me. And he just healed himself fully. Hey, like a taste of poison bolt, son. Now, he is my evil twin, so he should be able to use the same abilities I can, but it seems like the crossbow isn't amongst them. I'll take it. Now, fortunately, this hammer hurts. She hurts. That's what you get, Tyrant. Now you gotta fight me mano a mano. Gonna taste a hammer in the face. My hammer hurts worse than your sword, buddy. Come get it. Now, this is a 2-stage battle, so we can't get confident, and his second stage is far more difficult than the first. Oh, swing and a miss. Swing and a miss. Now, thankfully, he starts different mode or different phase of the boss battle, but he largely can't heal himself. So as long as I can keep him at a distance, couple more swings to the head, and we got this in the bag. The problem is he's going to keep swinging at me. Oh, and he's going to use lightning. Now I can kind of cheat and circle strafe. Which, considering he's using magical bolts of power, I don't care if that's cheap. There's actually a far tougher fight. If I had a lighter weapon, it'd probably be a lot easier. Come on, Brett. I feel like it's a bit cheap. I'm literally circle strafing him right now. Came from the school of Quake. I'm going old. This is as old school as you can get. I'm cracking him in the head with a hammer. Most of his shots are going wide though. I just have to keep this up. His lightning doesn't seem to be doing that much damage. Maybe it's this armor or the fact that my health is so high, but okay, now it's starting to hurt. Let me heal. One more hit and you are worm food, my friend. And with that, we have cut down the Tyrant. Dark magic meets a comically oversized mallet. And with that, we've defeated the Tyrant. With a devastating blow, the Tyrant fell to the ground. As the storm still reigned, the hero walked out of the observatory and set his sights to a nearby village. Suddenly, the hero felt a cold chill, and his arms began to feel weak and numb. Unbeknownst to the hero, the Tyrant was in possession of the Eternity Gem. With its dark magic, the Tyrant twisted time and space in his favour. The hero quickly found himself back in the cell he had been rotting in. Darker and sinister figures now roamed the world, and the hero knew the battle was far from over. Well, the battle is far from over, but the video is over. I hope you enjoyed this playthrough of the game, And I've really enjoyed the campaign, but as I said, it is a little bit on the short side. It took us a little bit under an hour to complete it. I feel like you could speed run it at about 20 minutes. I realise there are some different difficulty modes, different items to unlock. But, you know, it is a Dark Souls game and it feels a little bit light on content. So I was hoping the developer would have a little bit more in terms of levels, items, enemies, biomes. The game is in early access though, to be fair, so I'm hoping they will add more to the game. And if they do, we'll come back and do another run. Perhaps I'll check out the next difficulty mode. But if you're a fan of Dark Souls games, if you've just got to play them all just like me, then you may want to give this game a try. You could do far worse. But just be aware, it's a game you'll finish in an afternoon. It's not one that's going to provide many hours like other Dark Souls games, other Souls-likes. But with that being said, it's certainly got a very unique look and feel, and it is a lot of fun to play. It's a great choice for someone that's just getting into these types of games. It's a bit more of a forgiving difficulty, and I think it would be a good choice for you if you just want to dip your toe into the Souls-like genre and you're not looking for something that is just as hard as some of the other games in the on PlayStation and on PC. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Leave me a like, leave me a subscribe, and hopefully you'll join me next time when we check out another indie game. Until then, Skill Incarnate, out.